Hey folks, this is Vent with Ads Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to play Rebel Inc. Escalation. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about 15 bucks or so. There is a small sale going on because of the winter season, but let's go ahead and check it out. It's kind of like Pandemic in the sense that you've got, well, I don't want to say Pandemic. What game am I thinking of? It's not, Pandemic is the board game. Plague Inc. There we go, Plague Inc. It's the same developers of Plague Inc. What you're doing in this game, instead of trying to infect an entire world, is that you're trying to, I guess, control these insurgent forces while you're trying to bring peace to a third world country. So it's kind of similar to Plague Inc. It's got some of the same mechanisms, but it's definitely a different theme. So let's go ahead and check it out. Yeah, single player. There's campaign modes, scenarios, and speedrun, but they're all grayed out right now. They're all coming soon. I'm actually looking forward to a co-op and a versus multiplayer mode personally, but that sounds really cool. All right, so main game. So right now it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maps possibly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black caves. Yep, 7 maps. And so far I've only done the Saffron Fields. I'm going to go ahead and play them again while I get used to the game. I've only played, I want to say, 3 or 4 times at this point. I'm unlocking more characters as I go. There's the civil servant that you start off with, and then you'll be able to unlock more characters and more helpers the more you play. So let's go ahead and choose the banker. And then we can choose some advisors. For example, this doctor. Win over hostile populations more easily. The militia chief reduces initial insurgent capability, but slightly increases corruption. There's an advisor slot here. There's 5 that I haven't unlocked yet. There and there. Yep. So I have to unlock more stuff, basically. I got this town planner. Gain bonus support in urban zones. Okay. We'll stay with the doctor, I suppose. All right, so next, and we'll choose either casual, normal, or brutal. We'll just go ahead and do casual for right now. And we can name our operation. So if we don't like Hopeful Dawn, we can just randomly generate a new one. Charlie Badger. Sure, that works for me. Hello, Stephen and Bradley. Am I going to play Left 4 Dead? I don't know. I don't have a set schedule. It's whatever I feel like playing at this point in time. Alright, so our objective, Charlie Badger, we must stabilize the region. The local government has asked you to lead an operation to stabilize the region. You have full responsibility for all civilian and military matters. Set up your headquarters. So we're going to pick an initial region to start in. So I'm going to do something centralized, like right here, say. And I'm going to pause the game so I can show the interface without worrying about time passing. Upper right-hand corner are the time controls. Spacebar also pauses and unpauses. Bottom left-hand corner, you've got the amount of money that you currently have. Now, the funds are kind of weird. It says like $32, $4 to do this. I'm assuming those are in millions, but it just says $32. It's just, the currency is a bit weird. Why it costs $32 to do something, or that's how much funds I have. If I were to open this up, if I were to, like in Plague Inc., decide to unlock something, it costs me $2 to unlock this services discussion. So I think it's like in millions, but don't quote me on it. It just, the currency is kind of weird in this game. But anyway, the amount of money that you have in the bottom left here is right there, and then you've got the amount of corruption and inflation that you have. Corruption, I'll get back to. Inflation, as you unlock things in the tree, it becomes more and more expensive, but inflation does die down over time. So the idea here is buy a couple of things and then wait a while, let inflation go down, and then buy more things, wait a while, let inflation go down, and just rinse and repeat. That'll save you the most money. Bottom right-hand corner, there's the number of insurgent fighters, there's the insurgent willingness to talk, and then a region thing. So I can open up, there's 2 different build areas. There's region and operation. Operation is bottom left, region is bottom right. I'm going to go ahead and click on region in the bottom right. And here's a look at the map and all the different zones that you see here. And zones are either going to be stable, unstable, under insurgent control, or just grayed out, there's no intelligence whatsoever. You can see some other information here like supporters, neutrals, hostiles. Think of them like in Plague Inc. as your healthy people, infected people, and so on. Reputation on the right-hand side. Reputation is your end-game condition. If you start at like 100, but if you go to 0, you automatically lose. So you're trying to keep your reputation high if you can do it. So there's that. And there's also this button in the upper right that lets me toggle over to the operations. I can also reach this screen by clicking on the operation button down here in the bottom left. Either way, you can come to here. This is an overview of everything. There's 3 indicators on the bottom. There's support level, corruption risk, and inflation. Support level is how quickly people will grow to like you in this. Think of it as like, in Plague Inc., you have the spread, how quickly the virus will spread. That's what the support level does in this game. This is how quickly your goodness will spread across the third party, or the third party here that you're trying to support. The corruption risk sort of works against the support level. The higher the corruption risk, the slower your support level will be effective, or not. It won't be as effective. Then you've got your inflation, like I said before. The more you spend, the higher this goes, and it just increases the cost of everything. So you've got a civilian tab, a government tab, and military. Military is locked until the insurgents start attacking you. Civilian tab. Here you can, like in Plague Inc., unlock different trees. Now this is how you increase your support level, primarily. So let's say I want to pay $2 to open up services discussions. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now I've unlocked water supplies. I'll go ahead and unlock that. And medical supplies, I'll go ahead and spend $2 on that. On the right-hand side, there's infrastructure discussions. I'll go ahead and select that. And then I could say electricity. I can add electricity. That's $9 to do that. Okay, so I think that's good. As you can see, my inflation is now somewhat getting up there. So I want to wait a while and let that drop a bit. Government is kind of the same thing. There's anti-corruption, which decreases corruption gradually over time, and it'll unlock more options as we go. There's also local militia, making it harder for insurgents to take control of an area. And then district representatives helps us gather intel on zones. Why do we want to gather intel? A couple of reasons. Right now, we have no idea what's in these darker areas, so the intel will help us reveal these areas and figure out what these areas demand. If we go back into our region, you'll see right now that everything's just sort of just either white or gray. At some point, we'll see some pictures on this map. It'll say healthcare, or it might be a picture of jobs or something. That's what the people want. The more you cater to what they want, the better that, the faster that you'll take control of those regions. So rather than just blindly accepting things under the civilian tree, it might behoove you to wait and see what the people are demanding the most, and then unlock those things. But we'll go ahead and just pass time. Alright, so the banker earns extra interest on all the money that Operation hasn't spent yet. Your starting budget is lower due to her outrageously high salary. Well, that's nice. On the very top of the screen, you can see region stability 0%. That is our win condition. While the reputation on the right, which will eventually be revealed, the reputation is our lose condition. The region stability is our victory condition. We're trying to get that to, say, 100%. And if you can get the insurgents to enter the peace deal, you can speed that along like 50-fold. It's the equivalent of researching the cure in Plague Inc. Alright, so here's my reputation on the right-hand side. It's at 95 right now. Again, if it goes to 0, I automatically lose, so we don't want to do that. Alright, so at this point in time, we're just waiting a little bit. We're earning some money over there on the bottom left. Every tick, we're getting $3 plus $1 for that interest ability that she's got. Let's open up our operations again. I can go to government, and let's go ahead and take anti-corruption. This will lower corruption risk over a steady rate. This effective procurement is cool because whenever you take any sort of civilian thing, or anything for that matter, in these trees, you're going to gain corruption. The effective procurement ability lowers the amount of corruption you get whenever you take one of these things. So I'm going to go ahead and take that now. Probably should have taken that very first thing, but I wasn't thinking about it. Anti-corruption, I'll go ahead and take that. And there we go. So now my corruption risk should be dropping steadily over a period of time. You can also see that on the bottom left. That's what that red number is, 14%, and my inflation is at 11%. And you can see little hammers popping up. That means that we're building those services in those areas. Eventually, we're going to control these areas completely, which is what we want. We're trying to control everything if we can, but the insurgents are going to pop up and not let us do that. So it's up to us to develop a military to counteract them. We cannot do that yet until they appear. Insurgency rumored, military initiatives authorized. So now we can enter the military tab and start unlocking things. There's only one to unlock. There's coalition soldiers, and then there's national soldiers. The coalition soldiers are tougher. They're better trained, but they also, think of them as foreign troops, think of them as like U.S. troops, and they're on foreign soil. They're aggravating the locals. They're better trained, but they're not really of that region. Whereas you've got the national soldiers, it takes a while to train them, but you're using that third world country's soldiers to your advantage, and they won't antagonize the population. So I'm just going to do one of each and close that out. And on the left-hand side, you can see a little training thing. The blue ones, what are they called? The coalition soldiers, they train almost immediately, whereas the green ones, the national soldiers, they train over a long period of time. So now I can put this blue one down, depending on where they might pop up. I'm not sure where they're going to pop up. I'll wait and see where they pop up. I'm going to go ahead and maybe... Oh, here's an example of some of those pictures popping up. So this place wants education. This place wants... the local concern is, it seems like jobs. So let's go ahead and go back into our government tab. And go to civilian and go and unlock some of this stuff here. So maybe we'll do livestock for $5. I saw education. That was one of the things that they wanted. So I'll go ahead and spend $3 on that. And slowly we're going to be introducing these reforms into the map. That's what the little hammers do. Okay, so insurgents are reported in Foxtrot Mike. So we're going to try to corner them if we can. Otherwise, they're going to spread out a bit. We're going to go and train some more soldiers, too. 2 is not going to be enough to contain everything. I'll go ahead and train one of you and one of you. Now, another downside to the coalition soldiers is that they are only limited. They have a limited amount of time before they are scheduled to head back home, and you lose them forever. So you can either spend reputation to keep them there, you can extend their deployment, or you can just send them home. It's up to you. So ideally you want to start with the blue guys and slowly work your way into the green nationalists. Alright, so this region turned green. That means we've got it under our control now. It's stable. And our goal, again, is to make all of that bright green and make the entire region stable. Insurgents have taken over Foxtrot Mike. Foxtrot Mike just being the name of these various areas. Like this one is Gulf Papa, and this is Gulf Sierra, and so on. Now, these insurgents will branch out into adjacent territories. They will not cross rivers, however, but there is like a bridge down here, so they will cross this. But, for example, this up here, there is no bridge. So maybe I might want to bring this guy here. I do not want them expanding down here, then into the southern region. I do want them to maybe expand to the left, and then maybe I'll put a 3rd regiment or 3rd army right here to sort of block them. Locals in Foxtrot Oscar are angry about the coalition soldiers. Again, we're bringing people from, like, say, the United States or UK or whatever we're bringing them from. and the locals are not happy about that. That's why we want to train these green ones. By the way, training more than 2 of the same unit type at the same time will slow down the training overall, so we don't want to do that either if we can help it. So it looks like the Reds are expanding, the Insurgents are expanding here. We want to sort of nip that in the bud soon. Let's take a look at this again. I like the Garrison's ability. Authorize the construction of garrisons and zones with intel. So basically, these things will help support nearby soldiers. Soldiers, assuming that the area is explored and we have intel on it, they will support each other in combat. So when this area, Foxtrot Lima, is completely intel'd, then they will support this army here in Foxtrot Oscar should they get attacked. So adjacent armies will support each other in combat, assuming that the intel is complete in that supporting area. So for example, we've got red attacking blue here. Okay, now this army is not defending it right now because the intel here is not yet complete. So we may have to move them back, I don't know. Now we've got a situation there, a site in Charlie Romeo chosen for Charlie Badger garrison. Now we can put a garrison here. I don't think it's necessary because it's not near the site of the insurgents. It's all the way over here. I don't see a need for that. All right, so they took over that. This green is almost finished. All right, so we're going to put that right there. And now, these guys are not as good as combat at... Okay, so notice we have... There's no longer like a fog of war effect here. You can actually see this area is like light green, just like these ones are. Now that we've got that intel done, there's a blue line being drawn to support the green army because red is now attacking it. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep them from spreading very far, if at all possible. We're going to get these situations popping up on a regular basis. So we can do a number of things. We can approve the project, which costs $10, 55% chance to significantly increase corruption, 70% chance to costs overrun, meaning that it'll cost more than $10 to put this project down. Approve with oversight, costs $16, lower chance to increase corruption, and so on. I guess we'll go ahead and do the medium one. Charlie Badger has to foot the bill to cover the unexpected... Okay, so we have to spend an additional $8 to put that down. But with the power station being built, we've increased our support level, which is what we want. All right, let's go back to our operation and possibly build more troops. I'm going to go ahead and train a 3rd national soldier. There are some other branches here that increase the strength of our national soldiers, so maybe this national arms upgrade might be a good thing to have. And we've got $19 remaining. Drones will help us identify which areas are bad in terms of insurgency. Maybe we can take that, or we can go back here. Our corruption risk is rather high. I might take anti-corruption 3. All right, now we're down to $5. All right, so now we've got this green army ready here. I'm going to go ahead and put that here. And if we can get intel on this area completed, it will support all 3, which is good. All right, what? There we go. Site in Foxtrot Oscar chosen for Charlie Badger garrison. We're going to go ahead and build the garrison for $5. And now we've got a garrison there. Garrisons will support armies, just like armies will. So notice there's now a green line being drawn from the garrison to support this attacked location here. The blue is being attacked by the red insurgents. Charlie Badger sees more family homes powered. That's good for us. Corruption rising. Well, we're trying to lower it as best we can. Inflation is rather low. Let's see what else we can spend money on. We can build a 4th National soldiers, we'll go ahead and do that. And I guess that's good for now. Trying to keep these guys contained if at all possible. I'm going to go ahead and jump in there with this one in the back. Try and just take less zones. The more zones they have under their control, the more powerful they become. So we're trying to limit how much they're controlling, if at all possible. National Air Force inadequate. New Air Force would cost 14 bucks. Shared Air Force would slightly increase national soldier strength, but decrease coalition soldier strength. Or just no Air Force, in which case there's a 37% chance that national... Let's go ahead and spend the 14 bucks to increase national soldier strength. Hello, Ishwa, how are you? Oh, surprise attack in Gulf Sierra. A new group of insurgents have been detected. We may want to jump down here, stop that from happening. Hi, Hercron, how are you? There are different modes of play, but they are not available right now. There's a lot of modes that are quote-unquote coming soon. So that means that there's probably some kind of camp around here somewhere that they're spawning from. So those drones, one of the things I could purchase might reveal that. I'm just going to throw this guy down here to sort of safeguard this area. There may be insurgent presence right here. We don't know. Hello, Rehards. How are you? The coalition is being pressured to send their soldiers home. Soon you will have to choose whether to sacrifice reputation. That's what I was saying earlier about the blue coalition soldiers. They have a limited time over here. We have the choice to either send them home, or we can extend their time here, but at the cost of reputation. Okay, so let's go ahead. We've got 49 bucks. Let's go ahead and see what people are demanding. Looks like a lot involves like this business economy stuff. So let's go back over here. You can see here like a number of different zones. That's their primary concern. So we're going to go ahead and build more things that cater to that. So there's Development Bank, provides financial resources to help businesses get started and expand capacity, provides more jobs. We'll spend $5 to do that. There's land rights. There's agricultural logistics. Slightly increases support level, especially in rural zones. Go ahead and take that. So that should help out a little bit. Let's go back to our military and try and beef them up. Anti-IED vehicle upgrades increases national soldiers' combat strength. We'll go ahead and buy that. And we could buy another... I don't want to buy more coalition soldiers yet. I want to wait until more time has passed. Again, these only last for a limited amount of time, unless we're willing to spend reputation to keep them. Ideally, you want the green soldiers doing all the legwork, and then the blue ones are like temporary groups to help you get started. Let's go ahead and maybe buy these drones, these surveillance drones. We can buy upgrades for them now. Rapid drone rotation expands the maintenance crews to reduce turnaround time to prepare drones. This one, fuel and endurance, increases the time that a surveillance drone can remain on a zone. Combat sensors boost soldiers' combat strength. I guess we'll leave it go for right now and see what's needed. Insurgent camp discovered. Okay. Use soldiers or airstrikes to destroy it immediately. We've got a situation here. Okay, so we can either extend the tour of duty to 2 more tours. I can lose 10 reputation. I can do 1 more tour and lose 6, or I can send them home. That boosts the insurgent morale. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and do a long extension and take the reputation hit. That way they're kind of there. I'm going to go ahead and move this one up and try and take out that base. What's this now? Build garrison or reject location. Yeah, I think we want it there. Let's go ahead and build a garrison for $6. And again, they'll support other troops depending on whether or not they're adjacent. Now we've got some situations here. Yeah, let's go ahead and move over. No insurgents here, possibly. Let's go ahead and deploy this one right there. And what's this now? Again, another issue with extending the tour of duty. We'll take another reputation hit to extend that. Our reputation is on the right. We're at 92 right now. Again, when this reaches 0, that's game over. Insurgent camp destroyed. The insurgents will set up a new base. Keep an eye out for it. Counter-strike. Foreign rivals supporting insurgents. We can do a counter-strike for $8. Subtle pressure or publicly accuse. I guess we'll just do this. Counter-strike, $8. Damage diplomatic relations. Rival slightly cut support for insurgents. Hello, Matthew. Foreign rival has slightly cut the funding and manpower that they are providing to the insurgents for now. Decrease insurgent capability. Alright, let's push in. I wouldn't mind another... Alright, we can't do any more soldiers in the green category. I wouldn't mind another blue one. There's also airstrikes. Civilian casualties are a possibility with those, though. Interpreters and guides. Soldiers gather intel quicker and increase local support level. Let's check our region again, see what our support looks like. Okay, so you can see here that we're having more stability. It's growing in the center and toward the left. The right-hand side is where the insurgents are. They still want... This seems like their primary concern is, again, economy-based. So let's go back and maybe spend a little bit under that tree. So maybe crop development. Go ahead and buy that for $5. Export agencies. Increases support. Hostile population reduces effectiveness. Provides more jobs. Okay, we'll go ahead and buy that too. Okay. So that's good. Obviously, there's other things we can take, but I want to save some money for the military. District representatives allows us to gather intel on zones over time. That's important. That way we can figure out what zones want, where... Again, we can't... armies will not support each other if the zone that they're in is not intel'd, so this will allow us to gain intel more quickly. Right now, our support level is like a fourth of the way up, which is not bad. Corruption is about a fourth of the way up, too. Inflation is... Oh, yeah, it's nothing really to worry about. Print money. Significantly increases inflation. I gained $12 for it, though. I'm not going to do that yet. Hire lobbyists, gain 7 reputation. Local militia, hire and arm local untrained citizens in order to keep the peace. That's okay, I guess. Improve zone security, make it harder for insurgents to take control, but decreases support level. Yeah, I don't know if I want to decrease that yet. Anti-corruption would be nice, considering how much corruption we're gaining over time. I'm going to go ahead and just buy that for $14. And there's some unlockables now. Corruption Purge. This basically gets rid of corruption, just a chunk of it, which is kind of nice, but I don't think we're there yet. Alright, let's go ahead and move this over here and try and take this out, if we can. Got a situation there. Pomegranate Juice Factory proposed. $4. Increase corruption, costs overrun 74% chance. Alright, see ya. Hercron, have fun. Agree to build factory. Agree to build factory with rigorous oversight. It's more expensive. No, we'll go ahead and do that. There's less of a chance of bad things happening. Charlie Badger's decision offers opportunity for unethical people to illegally enrich themselves, increase corruption. Significantly increase zone support level, at least. Okay. Farmers celebrate booming sheep industry. That's good for us. Oh, looks like we've got... let's go ahead and move back a bit. These insurgents are trying to flee into a zone that... We don't want them down here. We want to sort of corral them up there. Oh, they just retreated here. Whenever insurgents are defeated, they'll often retreat into a territory that we do not control. So we're trying to corral them into a particular area, if at all possible. Unofficial contact with insurgent leaders. We can either try to talk with them, we can delay the talks, or we can threaten. If we threaten, we gain reputation, but they'll be mad at us. We can try to talk. This is good. Oh, insurgents refuse peace talks. We reduced reputation by 3. If the insurgents agree to talk to us, a new peace bar will appear. If we can get them to agree to a peace deal, they will go away and will instantly get region stability, 100%. So that's like an instant win condition right there. I think we need more troops. I'm gonna bring these guys down here. Insurgents retake Gulf Papa. We lost 2 reputation because of that. I got 56 bucks. The amount of money that we get per tick is based on how much coverage we have in terms of like how many stable how many stable areas we have. Okay, so there's a couple more issues here, but for the most part, things are being addressed. And the reason why these aren't being addressed immediately is because they're more rural nature. They're going to take some time to get to and to build structures in. Let's head over to our military and increase national soldiers' movement speed and combat strength. All right, we'll take that. Security checkpoint. Improve zone security, making it harder for insurgents to take control. I like that. Civil support. Increases local support level in zones with a garrison. That's kind of nice. Soldiers increase local support levels. I like that as well. And the different you'll have different unlockables depending on what people you choose too. Remember, I was choosing between like a military leader in the beginning, or a banker, or just a neutral person. We'll have different unlocks depending on what we choose. Corruption is going down. I like that. Ooh, that's a lot. Establish PR and media teams to clearly communicate Charlie Badger's achievements in the region. Controlling messaging and counter attempts to stir up discontent. Significantly multiplies existing and future support. Yeah, we want that. So our support level is now over half, which is really good. We can increase it further with strategic communications. What else could we take? Outreach. Slightly speeds up rollout initiatives in individual zones. Alright, I guess it's good for now. Let's go ahead and move this one over there. Contact reestablished with insurgent leaders. Try to talk. 21% chance. Insurgents refuse to talk. Well, that's a better chance. Of course, RNG. Alright, so we lost 1 reputation and they refused to talk with us. And it looks like we found a rebel base. If we can take that out, that'll set them back a little bit. It's telling us if we want to choose to build a garrison here. I'm going to say yes, because the army, the insurgents are over this way. It just makes sense to have these kind of things near the insurgents. Alright, so it looks like we took out all of this here. Uh-oh, got an issue. Foreign journalist kidnapped. We can ignore it. 11% chance the journalist is released. Pay ransom. Or rescue raid. I guess pay $7 to try and rescue this. Yeah, fine. It looks like we've increased the insurgent capability. But we gained 3 reputation for saving the journalist. Let's go ahead and move that up. Push them back. Let's go ahead and move that one up there. Now, if we completely wipe out the insurgents, they will spawn somewhere else. So I like to keep them confined to one corner and just not move in on them. That way I know where they are. It's just easier that way, in my opinion. Okay, no chance of the insurgents refusing. Finally. Alright, so now we're going to talk. Good. So now we've got a peace bar on the right-hand side. Peace progress is at 7, 9, 11. When this reaches really high, we'll be able to try to negotiate a peace and possibly remove them from the map completely forever, which would be awesome. Okay, do we want to extend the tour of duty? 13 reputation. Yeah, let's go ahead and fine. Our reputation's at 107 right now. I'm not too worried about that. We've got this issue here. A key theme in peace negotiations is how amnesty with the insurgents would work. So we can either offer full insurgent amnesty, increases the negotiation speed, but we lose 13 reputation. We can imprison some insurgents. We lose 6 reputation for doing that. Or imprison all insurgent leaders, gain 4 reputation, or we can, and that would antagonize the insurgents, which makes them fight back even harder. We'll just take the middle road, lose 6 reputation, and we'll take the hit, but we're not going to antagonize them as much. Now, I have never, in the 3 or 4 games that I've played off camera, I have never wiped the insurgents out. They always pop back up. So to respond to your question, Ishwa, or your statement, yeah, making peace is the ultimate goal. Telling them to get off our lawn, that works to some degree, but they just keep popping up. So it's like, I wish there was a way to permanently remove them, but there's no way, as far as I can tell, to do that. Political participation. Insurgent set up party. Lose 5 reputation. Fine. Taking some reputation hits, but our peace meter is going up. New companies are now open for business. A key theme in peace negotiations is how victims of the conflict should be compensated. Government apologizes, lose 11 reputation, increase insurgent negotiation speed. Both sides apologize, or insurgents apologize. Gain 4 reputation, but antagonize the insurgents. We'll go ahead and just lose 5 reputation. Both sides apologize. Another peace thing. Let's see. Insurgents keep all weapons. Insurgents hand in heavy weapons, or they... Well, I guess we'll take the middle road yet again. Government action slightly impacting reputation. Do I make streams often? Look at my YouTube channel. How many videos do I have? That should answer your question. Geoff Smith. Happy New Year to you as well. Or is it just Jeff? Some say Geoff, some say Jeff. Alright, so now we have the option. Do we want to extend the tour of duty here? I'm going to go ahead and send them home. Because we can always bring in more troops. We have plenty of money. And we have yet to unlock this 3rd coalition soldier. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I guess that's good. See if there's any... Okay, so yeah, we're doing pretty well here. There's a couple of concerns when it comes to the economy part of it, but we're starting to reach the edges of the map. Again, the insurgents are kind of stopping us from really growing on the right side, but we're making progress almost everywhere else, which is good. Let's do... Soldiers gather intel quicker and increase local support. I guess we'll do that. Civil assistance. Soldiers help roll out initiatives and increase local support. It's fine. Human terrain system. Soldiers gather intel quicker. Coalition soldiers become much less likely to antagonize the locals. Soldiers help roll out initiatives and increase local support level. We don't need an upgraded version of that. I think we've got plenty. You don't know how to do that, Invader? Just go to my channel, dadsgamingaddiction.com. Just go to my front page, my channel, and there's a section that says uploads, and then there's a section for live streams. Just go to my main YouTube channel. That should tell you how to do it. All the lists are right there. Let's see. We want to increase support even more than we... Core healthcare. Let's give them some healthcare. Why not? Personal health program. Remote subsidies. I don't want to go crazy. Inflation is going up. Well, I guess that's good. Alright, so now we're training that group over here. Oh, they just took that over. Let's grab that back. A key theme in peace negotiations is presence of coalition forces in the region after a peace deal. We can either withdraw all presence, most of it, or they remain all the time. Now, let's just, most international forces withdrawn. We'll just go ahead and do that. Lose 5 reputation. What does this one want? Luxury hotel proposed in Alpha Victor. Ensure all necessary approvals are given for the new building. Increase zone support level. Unknown chance of long-term tourism boom. Fine. Hopefully it's not a bad thing. Charlie Badger runs large budget surplus. We can donate to charity, we can fund the military, or do nothing. Donate money to local charities. Increases support. Costs $38. We'll go ahead and increase military budgets, increase national soldier strength. I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and, let's give it to the military. Peace negotiations are complete. We can agree to a peace deal. Right now, if we want to, we can demand concessions or reject the deal. We'll just go ahead and agree to the peace deal. We'll take a reputation hit, but we've got plenty. So, permanent peace agreed. The process to disband 6 insurgents reduces your reputation by 9. The insurgents control are active in one zone. Taking over the zones reduces your reputation by 8. People feel the insurgents came out slightly on top in the negotiations. This reduces your reputation by 11. But we still have plenty of reputation left. So the peace deal is now completed. They will no longer be a problem, and we'll instantly win here in a second. You'll see things spreading out. Again, it's similar to researching the cure in Plague Inc. There we go. Operation Charlie Badger successfully stabilized the whole region in 2011 by signing a peace deal with the insurgents. People have hope for the future. So we got 5 stars on that one. Took 662 turns to do it. Yeah, I mean, that was casual difficulty, so obviously it's going to be a little bit more difficult on the harder difficulty levels. Yeah, main menu. And we're going to be unlocking new things, too, as we go. The more we play, the more we unlock stuff. We just unlocked the Smuggler Governor. You've unlocked the Chef. Check the advisor screen to hire them for your next operation. So yeah, that was a quick look at Rebel Inc. Escalation. I'll be back with some more live streams a little bit later. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.